Am I supposed to be nice at this meeting?
No, we wouldn't expect that.
Come on.
A bunch of guys out there.
We're live. Okay. Good morning, all. Welcome to the joint Parks O and M Committee meeting for January 24th. Let's have a little quiet, please. Thank you. Call the meeting to order. Approve of the minutes of last month. Mr. Bruno. Tito. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay. The floor is open to anybody in the public in the back that's here to want to ask any questions to the Park O and M. Seeing none, we'll move forward.
Is it questions or to make a statement?
Either one. Either way. Get up to the mic, please, and mic.
This might be a little repetitive for a few people. Vinny was, I presented at the Board of Supervisors
Can
last
we
week.
get your name, ma'am?
Sorry, Lisa Adamson. I was recently appointed to the Warren County CSC Committee under Ethan Gaddy and Matthew Smith. And they suggested that this would be a very good committee for me to come to when you meet. And my focus with my partner, Diane Collins, is on climate. And I just wanted to make a statement today.
All right.
Do you want me to stop?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
You're talking about environmental? This-
I'm at the environmental
This
concerns.
is Parks O and M for the.
Next one, next
I am
meeting
so
is
sorry.
that.
Okay. I'll start.
You have to wait just a
It
little.
it happens to us also.
Okay, thank you.
Sure it does.
Anybody else? All right. So. Want to take over the agenda?
Yeah, so I'll start with the first, we have no action agenda items or new business items. We have two discussion items, the first being the request by Americade for some electrical upgrades, and the second being the 2025 events. And I think I will turn it over to Mayor Perry to discuss both.
Yeah, well, Ice Castles or Winter Realms, as they were most recently known, had put a power upgrade in, and it's a very complex, high voltage 480 power, and no one really has a use for it. It's a lot of power potentially. And the request by Americade was to convert that to usable power, a step down transformer to get it to single phase or three phase power. Right now, it's really specific to what Ice Castles would use for snowmaking and ice making equipment. Their request, and I'm ambivalent about it, is to have us, the county and village, upgrade the power to a usable power so that they don't have to run generators throughout the park for all of their vendors. When they do the Tour Expo, they have several vendors. And
That's what they did last year.
that's what they did
ran
last year, yeah.
generators.
And they've done every year that they've used the park. They've been, I see it as a pretty expensive cost. We have never done any upgrades ourselves. Both power and water upgrades were done by Ice Castles, and the cost was borne solely by them. I'm not recommending that we do it, but I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the committee that the
Yeah.
request is out there.
The thing I'll add on is, as Mayor Perry said, the cost for the upgrades when Ice Castles was there was borne by them. And I think, and as I recall, the electrical upgrade to put that in was almost $40,000, which they bore the cost of, and then it was probably almost another $80,000 for them to do that water upgrade. Is this that cost, electrical wise, if we paid 40, this? I can't tell you exact, but I would assume it'd be almost half that. So again, I don't, as the mayor said, we're not advocating for it. They're just requesting us, or asking the request to have us do it.
Can we find out what the cost might be and see if they'll be willing to fund it?
We certainly can.
I believe it was Our Electric that put it in.
Yes.
And
And Our Electric is our term agreement electrical contractor, and I can reach out to them and have them give me a ballpark estimate on that.
Ours as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So we can find out by next meeting.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, another question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Well,
just curious, is there any reason why we'd want to have both of those power transformers set up? That you'd use the, the extra power that Ice Castles put in for something in the future versus this? Would you want to do both?
So I certainly wouldn't remove the 480 power that was put in for Ice Castle's equipment, because yes, there could be someday that we could use it for something else. This would be similar to what you would have in a house, that you have a 200 amp service somewhere, and then you pull off another 100 amp service or something. So you could still use that 480 power. This would just be pulling another service off for them to use somewhere else. That's what it would involve.
Bad idea.
Tap into the same line,
Yeah,
correct?
because we don't know what we don't know as far as future events. It's,
Sure.
it's good to have, but,
Right.
I think it warrants getting a quote for a couple.
But I agree, I wouldn't remove that. No.
We just
absolutely not.
had it off. It's in the county's name, so but we made sure it's off, so.
that's where I think we should have one. Anything else on that?
I also provided a calendar of our events as scheduled currently. This calendar changes monthly. There is a couple of them. We did have earmarked other event. It's a Jeep Invasion. That will be Father's Day weekend. They were a really successful event that they hold in Wildwood, New Jersey. They're working through some insurance logistics right now. They would spend much of their time just displaying in Wood Park. They don't drive around. They usually would stay in Stony Creek at 1,000 Acres, and they do trail rides and camping. About 75% of them stay in hotels, leaving about 25% of them camping, and that might be a little egregious. I think probably it's more 80-20. So, but they boast numbers in Wildwood of 4,000 people coming to the show. I don't think they'll achieve that here, but if they get half that, it's kind of a great show.
For this, the green part, is that in or out?
Farthest one, the green ones are in. No, they're in.
No, they're in.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in.
You just highlighting it?
Our coordinator does her own thing. I think she's highlighting because of what she's either working on or lacking a form or something for. Most of it, those are all slated events, but so whether they're green or not, I think the St. Patrick's Day Parade is probably green because we
Pretty good list.
it's a good list so far. Yeah, we had cancellations last year and it was unfortunate due to weather and hurricanes and yeah. And it's hard to throw something together when somebody cancels 2 weeks out of their event. But there has been some grumblings from the Chamber of Commerce and wondering why the weekends are gone. And well, if someone can't, we had 2 food truck events cancel, Craft Brew Fest cancel last year, so. There was three weekends that it wasn't, and it is good, Kevin and I agree, it is good sometimes to give the park a rest. Let the grass heal, especially after last year. This year should not be as much of an issue.
Yes.
Couple play holes from 10 pegs.
Minor.
Well, we've had a couple of problems like this over the years. I mean, should we think about something of a deposit from these people? That if
We
they
do get a
cancel-
non-refundable deposit.
But how long is it? Is it 2 weeks? You know how long, 'cause
Oh, to
that's
cancel,
short. Yeah.
I think it's non-refundable once you submit it.
Okay.
Lisa,
Still in
now
effect,
Jessica
yeah.
is in effect of that, yeah. They really have to have a great reason. There was another event that's come through that's a charity event after a hike.
You want to talk to it real quick? Yeah, so we
Yeah.
had the Lake George Land Conservancy put in a request to use, I don't know what the dates were, to use the facility. There's the $1,500 a day cost with the deposit. They would, I think they've already submitted an application, but they are requesting that they be considered, which I think they are anyways, a not-for-profit, and they pay the $500 fee. I think they fall under that realm already. They had asked us to see if we could get this in front of the committee. But if I look at it, I think if they do fall under that not-for-profit, we don't have to bring it to committee because it's already in our rates that they fall under that not-for-profit, pay the $500 a day. So I haven't fully looked at, it, but I certainly will.
Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I think in the schedule, the payment schedule, it says Monday to Thursday for.
Oh, that's right.
nonprofits.
This was
And
a
this was a
weekend.
weekend, so I
correct.
think it might need to come before
Through
the committee
committee.
to get that approval.
But so I would certainly bring that one if that's the case next month.
So you're already taking care of the electrical work, so.
Yeah, I'll get the estimate on that.
Out next month.
Yep.
Mayor, this is a good, report. Only thing I'd like to ask if we can get it just a little earlier. It's a lot to read while we're sitting here.
Yeah, it is a lot to read. I was, hoping for an
Well,
update sooner.
How's the Shepherd Park? And good days?
Oh, it's coming along. We have an open house at the Carriage House, the 30th at 6. If anybody wants to see the, design that we've come up with, we're taking public comment and pointers. Vinny's on our committee. And, we're getting
Looks
some good progress. The funding is
January 30th.
January 30th at 6 o'clock at the Carriage House at the Fort William Henry. It's a pretty sharp design. Our architect, Andy Allison, has really knocked it out of the park. Part of the reason we're holding it at the Carriage House is to showcase what he's done already in the community, because he did the architecture work for the rebuild of the Carriage House as well, so.
Okay, that's good. Privilege of the floor for anybody who wants to speak or anything? You gentlemen have anything else to bring up? Need a motion to adjourn? Mr. Bruno? Cito,